Liv Morgan lost on her WWE RAW return for a major reason. Feels veteran. Exclusive. Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. I am Jennifer. Have a nice day. For the WWE Family latest news update, please subscribe the channel and press the bell icon. Current Women's Tag Team Champion Liv Morgan returned to WWE television on the latest episode of Monday Night Raw. The former Miss Money in the Bank got to work straight away after returning, as she immediately got down to business in order to get herself a qualifying match for Money in the Bank. On her way to Adam Pearce's office, she ran into the current Women's World Champion, Io Sky, and Kairi Sane, who made her return last week. Liv and Kairi got into an argument backstage, leading to a match between the two shortly after, which Morgan lost, much to the surprise of many. Vince Russo shared some insight on Liv's loss on her return during the latest episode of Legion of Raw on Sportskeeda WrestleBinge. He claimed that Liv Morgan's loss was a result of Zoe Stark's injury that she suffered last week during Kairi Sane's return match. They weren't supposed to beat Kairi Sane last week. They had to beat her because Zoe got injured. They had to figure out a way to give her a win here. So, I guess, using Roxanne Perez was a good way to make Liv you lose. But again, my issue is like what Chris and I said earlier. You're just flopping out these characters, Russo said. 40-13 onwards. Liv Morgan ultimately lost the match following confusion between Roxanne Perez and Raquel Rodriguez. Following the match, Morgan seemed more upset with her tag team partner than with Perez, which makes the storyline a bit more interesting going forward. Liv Morgan made her return to WWE programming on this week's episode of Monday Night Raw. The reigning Women's Tag Team Champion walked into the Judgment Day clubhouse during an interaction between Dominic Mysterio and Roxanne Perez, making things awkward between Liv and Dom. Finn Balor introduced Perez to the group during last week's episode of Raw, and she has been trying to earn Dominic's favor ever since. This storyline has shades of how Liv took over the group from her former tag team partner, Rhea Ripley. Speaking about the same on Leg On of Raw on Sportskeeda WrestleBinge, wrestling veteran Vince Russo felt that this storyline was a downgraded version of the Rhea Ripley and Liv Morgan segment from last year. He claimed that putting Roxanne Perez in this spot will also hurt the rising star, as it's putting her in a horrible spot. So they're giving us a lesser version of it. Rhea Liv storyline. Who's gonna pay for that? Rosie, Roxanne. Perez, and then when Rosie Perez gets pink slipped in 3 months? We're sorry, man, we tried. We put you out there, we put you in the main spot, and people weren't buying it. That's putting her in a horrible spot because, like I said, they're just changing places and she's no Liv Morgan, Russo said. 25-19 onwards. Russo voiced his frustrations over the storyline's similarity to Rhea Ripley's ousting from the group. The storyline has shades of how Rhea Ripley was kicked out of the group, and the same could happen to Liv as well. Is this not basically the same play with Rhea Ripley and Liv? They basically did the same thing. Rhea was in the group, then Liv comes in the group. Now Rhea is out of the group, Liv slides into Rhea's spot, and Rosie, Roxanne Perez, takes Liv's spot. It's the same exact play, Russo said. 24-02 onwards. With Liv Morgan returning to WWE programming once again, it'll be fascinating to see how this story unfolds from here on. While the story does look similar to the Liv and Rhea one, it could all be a ruse for something shocking down the line. The Judgment Day has long been one of the top factions in WWE. The group currently consists of Dominic Mysterio, Liv Morgan, Raquel Rodriguez, Carlito, JD McDonough, and Finn Balor. Dirty Dom in particular has been interesting to watch develop over the past several years. Dominic had an on-screen relationship with Rhea Ripley, but after a nasty split, he ended up with Liv Morgan. Now, the reigning Intercontinental Champion needs to avoid a different female performer entirely, Roxanne Perez. WWE has been teasing a potential romance angle between Dominic Mysterio and Roxanne Perez in recent weeks. Finn Balor seems to be stirring the pot in an effort to cause a split between Mysterio and his current on-screen girlfriend, Liv Morgan. However, Dom pursuing Roxanne would be a big mistake. Liv and Dominic have great on-screen chemistry. The two charismatic stars go together like peanut butter and jelly. While Dominic and Roxanne could have chemistry as well, WWE would be taking a major and unnecessary risk by giving something up that works for something that could flop. Moreover, Mysterio doesn't really need another romance angle. Between Rhea and Liv, that has been his primary story for almost 3 years now. As the WWE Intercontinental Champion, Dominic should focus more on his career than on relationship drama. Keeping the status quo with Liv is the best choice for Dirty Dom. Dominic Mysterio, avoiding Roxanne Perez and not going for another romance storyline, isn't just beneficial for him. It would also be beneficial for Roxanne Perez. The biggest reason is that Roxanne has something bigger to focus on. The Prodigy recently qualified for a spot in the Women's Money in the Bank ladder match, and she will have a chance to fight for the briefcase in less than 2 weeks. If Roxanne manages to win, she will have a guaranteed world title opportunity that she can use at any time for up to 1 year. Based on history, whoever wins the Women's Money in the Bank briefcase goes on to win the world title. It is essentially foolproof. Liv Morgan carried the WWE Women's Division on her back throughout 2024 and into 2025 as the WWE Women's World Champion. However, it has been a few months since she became a part of the tag team division with Raquel Rodriguez. The duo has won the titles twice this year. Not only that, Morgan has also been a part of the stable Judgment Day, alongside her on-screen boyfriend, Dominic Mysterio. She made her return to Monday Night Raw on the May 26th edition, after being away due to the filming of her new Hollywood film, Bad Lieutenant Tokyo. On her first night back, there were hints that she is set to split from her boyfriend, her tag team, and stable moving forward. Here are the 3 signs that indicate that Liv Morgan will soon return to being a singles performer. Liv Morgan had her return match on this week's edition of Monday Night Raw. She faced Kairi Sane in an exciting showdown and was at the top of her game, even after missing in-ring action for almost a month. Morgan was in control until Raquel Rodriguez got into an argument with Roxanne Perez, who came out looking like she was trying to help Morgan. The events that led to Liv Morgan's match against Kairi Sane were due to a backstage segment. She and Raquel Rodriguez crossed paths with Kairi Sane and her former damaged CTRL cohort, Io Sky, who is the reigning WWE Women's World Champion. Morgan mocked the duo and even eyed her title. This could be a huge hint that Morgan might be looking to regain the title and embark on a singles run to get away from the Judgment Day fiasco and solely focus on getting back on top.